I think M-Pesa is a very, very important product for us. And who would have known 10 years ago that it would be such an important product? Who would have known? Nobody would have known. But nevertheless, it's become a very important product for us. As you've seen, it's 35% of our revenue, maybe a little bit more. It'll grow to be a bigger portion of our revenue going forward. And we will introduce a number of products and services on M-Pesa, financial services, to offer even more services, not just to our consumer, but also to the business community, SMEs, and so on. So I think this will continue. On the limits, we are in active negotiation or discussion with CBK to increase the limits. There are concerns about this, of course, because of money laundering, terrorism funding, management of the money velocity, which the CBK has concerns about. But as we've done from the very beginning, we'll work with the CBK to come up with a solution, and I'm hoping that some of the limits will be increased pretty soon. M-Pesa brand belongs to Safaricom. Okay, what we don't have is the IP, which is the intellectual property rights of the M-Pesa product. Okay, that belongs to Vodafone. Now, what is being negotiated with Vodafone is bringing both the management of the M-Pesa product from Vodafone to a joint venture between Safaricom and Vodacom. And that's what's been negotiated, which includes the IP, which includes the management of the M-Pesa product, which is the platform, the G2 platform, the growth, the roadmap in terms of products and services coming, the maintenance of the platform. All of that was managed to a large extent from the UK. Now, economies of scale, reasons of focus. So the plan is that we would, for Africa, that we'd bring that to be headquartered in Nairobi and be jointly owned between Safaricom and Vodacom. And that's underway. In the presentation earlier, Ethiopia is a prize. It's the last prize, big prize in Africa in terms of telecommunications. It's 100 million people. It's a monopoly operator there. Not a very big network, not a very good network. There's huge opportunity in Ethiopia, and everybody who is a mobile operator in the world will be looking at this opportunity, including ourselves. We will definitely be part of it. We'll play our part. How we will play our part, with what, how do we do it, with whom is still to be decided. Obviously, we'll go in with our shareholder, with Vodacom. That's pretty obvious. What will our strategy be? That's for sure. I can't tell you that. Look, first of all, I think if you look at a company the size of Safaricom, the age of Safaricom, we're 19 years old, going on for 20 now. We're quite a mature company. I think from an investor point of view now, I'll purely talk about the investor, not the consumer, because that's the focus of your question. I think to reinvigorate the company at this stage in the company's life, to sort of determine, okay, which direction are we going? Should we go in another direction? Should we reinvigorate the company? Should we have a new focus of energy and direction? This is the right time to do it. And I think the investors, public, will appreciate that. It's difficult to do, but it's better to do it now than later than never. Because I think a company like Safaricom, which is innovative, working in a very competitive market, in a very high technical market, we need to be completely always innovating. And this is now part of that innovation, is to, okay, let's look in another direction. Let's look at how we provide the services, what services do we provide, and how do we do it, and how do we sell those services to our consumer. And this is what we've done, and I think it's very exciting to do it. It's a big thing to do, it's not a thing you just do overnight, although we've managed almost to do it overnight. But it's not just the product, it's also the way we think, how we deal with the customer in the shops, in the call centers, and then just in how we deal with ourselves internally, which is important. And I think we're doing a good job of it, and our challenge, my challenge as the CEO and the management team, is to make sure it happens and continues. Look, what we've done in this financial year is we've moved our capex forward. We haven't. Normally you spread your capex over the whole financial year, so we've taken some of the capex that we would have spent in the second half, and we moved them into the first half, and you've seen that in the free cash flow. And this is a deliberate thing to say we're pushing ahead, and we have a 4G data acceleration project that we want to bring data to the whole country by the year end. And this is the reason for that, is that invest more in the 4G network. To some extent, replace some of the older network with new elements to provide a better 4G service to our customers. Look, Masoko was an e-commerce initiative that was started a few years ago. It hasn't proven to be as successful as we would have liked. I think we still need to play. We still need to be in that business. We still need to focus on. No, we still need to be in that e-commerce space, because of course with Mpesa it's ideal and it's the perfect place for us to be. But I think we need to read. What I've done when I've came in is to take another look at it and say, let me see how are we doing it. What strategy do we have? What is it cost effective? Is it got a revenue contribution? And that's where we are right now with Masoko. So we haven't. It's just taking another look at it. I've controlled it a little bit before I relaunch it into the marketplace. Look, I think IMT, International Money Transfer, is very underrated, not very underserved at the moment. Underserved, not underrated. Underserved. I think there's huge room to grow, and you see now with PayPal, Facebook Money, Apple Money, and all the international money transfer apps that you can get now, it's really growing because it's so simple and easy to do. And if you look at, I saw some figures yesterday. I can't remember them, unfortunately or fortunately. But it's definitely is a growing business for us. And I think also because if you look at we are not into the big money transfer that must be done through the banking system. We're into the small money transfer, the diaspora sending money home for school fees, and similarly going in the other direction. And I think there's huge opportunity here still, because if we can keep the cost down per transaction, this will be very attractive.